How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video. It's been a while since I've sat here in the good old rig to record a video about how to drift and how to frankly master a drift track. And today we are going to be doing Orlando Speed World OSW, the FD track. Now, you may be wondering, well, Brandon, when I'm looking at your video list on your channel, I don't see any FD Atlanta. Well, that, my friends, is because there is no FD Atlanta from this year, the line. If you know, you know. They pushed the inner clips back, and frankly, I don't want to drive a track that is not accurately made in the game and just guessing places. I feel we are a lot farther in the sim racing realm where we don't have to imagine lines just like the Forza days. And so, I'm gonna wait until somebody does it, to be quite honest with you. That's just me. So today we are just going to be driving OSW, made by the wonderful people over at ACS Drift, and we are going to be in the VDC 5.0 JZX 100, which is a very cool car. So first things first, as per usual, let's check out the tune. So the tune, I'm actually just using my base tune that I have on BoundlessRacing.com. A way to help support me and to give you a good driving car. I have 5.0 VDC tunes for all the cars. Right now it's almost all the cars, but hopefully when this video goes up, it'll be all the cars. So I'm gonna give away this tune. Why not? Let's show the people. The JZX isn't driven a lot, but just check it out. There are some things I did change in this compared to the other tunes, so there is that. You know, tires, don't want a huge tire in the front just because I don't want to have a lot of front grip with that tire. Camber, pulling up the suspension app in Assetto Corsa. This camber, when I'm turning my wheel to 9 and 3 at full lock, this is where I'm comfortable with. A little bit of toe. Rear toe, it's all up to discretion. I actually took some out compared to the public tune. Dampers, just a quick look. Then we have drivetrain, brake pressure, suspension. The front suspension on this car isn't the stiffest, so I just left it stock. It feels pretty good out of the box. And the rear suspension, don't dump it. You don't want to dump it anymore. 4.0 cars, you would. Now, you honestly don't, because the tire's grippy, and you could get more grip out of your suspension by not dumping it, just like in real life. Dampers, I'm not really gonna touch on too much. I know there's some people wanting a damper tutorial video. It's a lot of people. I'll get there. I am like 95% of the way there with understanding dampers as a whole, but explaining it, I'm just trying to wrap my head around how to explain it in the easiest way possible for everyone to wrap their head around, not to sound super nerdy or like a science fest where not everyone can understand what I'm saying. So that's the tune, and let's try out this track. Speaking of sim racing, if you want any sim racing equipment, head on over to BoundlessRacing.com, use code 404 for 5% off, and get any new gear and even turnkey simulators.
Did you fuck up this Father's Day? Instead of buying your dad an actual gift, you got him a half-ass Hallmark card from Target. That's pathetic. At Boundless Racing, we are having a sale of 25% off on all SimMagic Alpha bases through June 21st. That means instead of buying him the Clunker Box Special from Best Buy, get a wheelbase that feels realistic rather than a toy. Head to BoundlessRacing.com today.
So, as I usually do, first thing I like to do is drive through this course. So coming out of those cones, I realize there's a lot of banking coming into that entry, so it's going to be hard to get any grip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to huck the car the other direction away from the wall and throw it in, and use a little bit of foot brake to settle the rear end of the car in order for me to carry the most momentum and also be the most stylish. And I drop down 2 inner clips, that's pretty straightforward. Then coming out here, make sure I'm not too wide because the car could be unsettled. Getting onto the bank, I could pop a wheel out, suspension could bottom out in one area, it's gonna feel a little weird, and that's about it. It's a pretty simple course. So with that, let's try out the course. So nice simple revs, don't wanna spin right off. Whoa, bit of a hard flick into there. A little bit of left foot braking just to settle out the car. A little wide through there, definitely dropped a tire. Oh. Up on that bank, this outer bank here. Wheels getting a little light. And that's an okay first run. So here's what I could say off of that first run. My biggest thing is the entry. If I could get the entry just perfect, then this whole banking will be solid. Coming through here at about this point, I want to start to not be full throttle anymore and kind of jab at the throttle to slow the car down a little bit and make sure I don't go too wide coming off the bank, and it gets me well into this first inner clip and through the second inner clip. And now through the second inner clip, making sure I don't run wide into the last outer zone. If I run wide here, I'm going to drop a tire, and if you could see my wheel kind of going back and forth there because it got a little light, because again, popped the tire up, suspension got a little wonky, too much compression on one end, and then the car was unsettled. So let's get a fresh set of tires. Thankfully, this is the sim, so I don't gotta take 2 hours to get a fresh set of tires. Just click of a button, and I am ready to go. Rev up the car, and here we go. Second, third, fourth. Good amount of angle, flick in, a little bit of left foot brake. Hold that left foot brake. Now that throttle thing I was talking about, a little bit of throttle, a little bit of clutch. Perfect setup into IC1, perfect setup into IC2. Now make sure not to go too wide here. There we go. I'm right in that pocket, right in between where I need to be. Not going too high up. That way I can carry the most amount of speed, and I'm not dropping a tire. So I get that full pointage in the line area. Try that one more time. So not full throttle, second, third, fourth. Flick in, there we go, nice big flick. Whoa! Bit too saucy there. That was real saucy. Left foot braking. Still setting up well into IC1. Flick over into IC2. A little high there. Let's do one more run. Fresh set of tires. That previous run to this one was pretty good. So let's do it one more time. Kind of get a better understanding. I got the pedal app up today so you can see my throttle input, a little more what I'm thinking into doing this course. So yeah, big tip I have here, make sure you're not flooring it off the line. If you're flooring it, you're not getting the speed that you want. You can see I'm manipulating the throttle in a way where I could get traction but also not hook up all the way, still have a nice fluid initiation, a nice flick into the corner. So here we go once more. Second, third, fourth. Flick in. A little bit of a pussyfoot entry there, but you know, it is what it is. Then a little clutch kick. Set myself up well into here. Flick over. Whoa! Now the bump got me there. Okay, let's do one more. One more. Big thing there. What I did there, I transitioned at the wrong time. Transitioned a little late. Didn't transition prior to the bump right here, the small little bump. Upset the car a little bit. Happens to everyone. I'm glad I showed that though, because that's something that a lot of people have trouble with. So one more time, full focus run. Let's nail this one. All right, here we go. Nice and outside on that bank. Look at that. Little tap too. Comes down. Flick early. There we go. Nice and outside. In that rev range. A little bit of clutch. And there we go. Go back and even watch a little bit of that truth serum just to really secure that that was a solid run. Alright, so coming off third, fourth. Flick in. Boom. Right up there, almost scraping the wall, almost too high up. There, that was too high up. Barely dropping a tire, if even dropping a tire. Flick over. Oh yeah. And right here, make sure not to drop a tire up onto that bank. And we are not maximizing our speed, and that is the run. So with that said, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you have any questions about OSW or how to drift, make sure to leave them down below and I'll be sure to help out. Make sure to like and subscribe and be on the lookout for some new content. I'm gonna be making some new stuff, some different stuff compared to videos like this. I feel like, you know, kind of getting old making stuff like this, making shit like this. So I want to express more me, a little about what I'm doing, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. With that said, hope you did enjoy this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.